Hey, cutie pies. It is Lanikia, and I am coming to you with another episode of Genearl Hospital. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, do not forget to, if you're looking to work from home, I do have work from home videos that tells you companies to hire and how much they're paying and all that information on the channel as well. So let's go ahead and get into this episode of Genearl Hospital, y'all. So you know how I like to break it down. Most interested, least interesting for me. I mean, least to most. Actually, if I had to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it a solid 7. Because I liked everyone pretty much who was on this episode. Um some people I don't like with other people acting because it's boring, but when they get with others, I like it. Like I personally like Curtis. I don't like Curtis and Portia. I don't know. They're boring to me. I don't know why. They're boring to me, but I like Curtis. And so we see Curtis talking to Drew, and for some reason when those two get together, I'm interested. Maybe because they're always trying to figure out what Marshall is doing. Y'all, Marshall went to this hospital and he is trying to get his medicine uh, redone. He needs more pills. But the doctor who did it for him before is not there. And so they're like, TJ is there and he can do it, but but he doesn't want that to happen. And his doctor, he says that he has is out of the state, so he can't use that doctor. So he's like, but I need this medicine. And so we see that going on. And on the other side of the aisle, at the hospital, on the other side of the nurses station, we see that Sonny has came in because Avery has fallen at the playground and they just want to check her arm. Ava's there with her and TJ. Now we see Marshall look over there at Sonny and he's looking at what's going on, and TJ takes him into the room because he's going to examine Ava. So they're in the room doing the examination. It's a real cute scene with Sonny, Ava, and Avery and TJ. And they talk. Ava says, Avery asked for a lollipop. If she's gonna be good, you're gonna have to give her a lollipop. And Sonny was like, I'm gonna go to the nurse's station. I'm not, excuse me, to the gift shop and get you one or whatever. So he goes and gets her a lollipop. Now on his way there, Curtis stops him and Curtis just tells him, leave my grandson alone. Don't you be around my grandson. And Sonny's like, whoa, man, what's going on? And he was like, I know men like you and you just don't learn your lesson or whatever. And Sonny was just like, who gonna enforce me? If Sheree Whitfield was on there, it would have been that whole meme that was going around with who gonna check me, boo? Because that's exactly what Sonny told Marshall. Like, well, who gonna enforce this? It is what it is. So Sonny now TJ sees this. So then when Sonny goes back, Avery is fine and everything. She gets her lollipop and they're leaving. And she asks, could we go out for ice cream with Mama Carly? And Sonny ruined that. So they told Avery they're gonna Ava was real sweet in this when she told her, I'm gonna try to reach out to Carly and everything, but I know you've been through a lot of changes, but we're trying our best to make it okay for you. And so then we see that Ava talks to Sonny and she just tells Sonny it's really nice you being around or whatever, this pleasant side. She said, I've never had the pleasure of experiencing like this nice side of Sonny. So she likes it. And she said she hopes she sees more of it. Now she did ask him what was going on with Marshall. And he said, I don't have a problem with Marshall. Now TJ also asked Sonny what was going on with Marshall, and he was like, Sonny told TJ the same thing. I don't have a problem with Marshall. So at this point, Marshall, you got the problem with Sonny. Because Sonny is not bothering you. So what is going on? So okay, so they go out, right? They go outside and they're at the nursing station because Avery's fine. So they're about to go home and leave. Now Avery, being a child, she runs and bumps into Marshall. And his pill bottle, gets to rolling. Now he's already talked to TJ because TJ asked him about Sonny. Sorry, let me back up a little bit. TJ asked him about Sonny, and Sonny said, and he told TJ, stay away from Sonny. I know men like him. And TJ was like, Sonny helped me out. Like Sonny is TJ don't know that side of Sonny. He only knows the good man. And with some people, they will never know the bad side of Sonny. They only get the good Sonny. And so Marshall was just like, those favors that Sonny get from you. They're always men like Sonny are always gonna cash in on him and everything like that. But TJ was like, all right, if something happened, I'll tell you. So that's when Avery come out, right? They about to leave, but she knocks into um Marshall, and Marshall had a pill bottle, right? And so the pill bottle goes rolling, and it rolls towards Sonny. So Marshall is like, "Oh, are you okay?" And Ava is there doing that, and Sonny picks up the pill bottle. Now listen, I don't know what name was on that pill bottle, but Sonny was like, "We'll be talking soon," and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Now see, that sets up for what's going on over there with Drew and Camp. Oops, I'm calling that man by his real name, Drew and Curtis. So Drew and Curtis are meeting, right? And Drew says, I have the information for in this envelope for you about Marshall. But do you really want to know? Because if you find out something you might not like, then your dad won't be in your life, yada yada yada. And Drew was like, if it was just me, I could probably ignore it. But because I have TJ, Trina, Portia, like it's a lot of people involved. Like I can't just let this man be, not know what his background. So they open up the envelope and everything, and then Curtis finds out that Marshall was did lived abroad. And he was like, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, maybe, I don't see anything wrong with that. And Drew was like, look at the name he used. And he was like, he used his name, but he was in witness protection. Why would you use your name in witness protection? Exactly. And they said, well, maybe they didn't have witness protection over there. And they said, but he would still be using a different name. So they said, well, do you think he wasn't in witness protection? They don't know. But we're going to find out because this story is going to get bigger and bigger. In some kind of way, Sonny's going to get involved in it. And I believe Miss Wu is involved in this too. But okay. So that's what happened with them on that today. So then we go over here to, I just got to make sure I'm not leaving anybody out. So then we go over here to Ryan. Okay. So Spencer is playing board games with the attendee, the security, because he's about to be let out. So he's just chilling, wasting time until he can go home, right? So while Spencer is doing that, Harmony comes up and she says, Ryan Chamberlain wants to speak to you. You don't have to do this. But Spencer was like, I ain't got nothing else to do. So he goes over there and he speaks to Ryan Chamberlain, right? And so I'm looking away because I'm actually seeing it in my mind as I'm doing it. If I look at the screen, I see me. And I can't remember. So Ryan, they start playing chess together, right? So they're playing chess and everything, right? And then as they're going about it, Ryan has blinked out all these answers and stuff for Harmony to ask Spencer. And it's pretty much comes down to Ava. He said, you got a friend in me. I know all that other stuff going on with Esme and your dad. And I also know that you don't want your dad with Ava. Well, I want Ava. He likes Ava, whatever. He was like, you got a friend in me, and your dad and Ava shouldn't be together and all that. Spencer not trying to hear this. He like, leave me alone. I don't need another friend. I'm cool. And at that point, see, Nicholas was over at the house, and Nicholas was over at Laura's house because that's where Spencer is supposed to be released to, right? So he was over there, and they were talking about how, they want Spencer to have a fresh start. Well, then Esme come down. She said, I'm out. She said she's leaving because Spencer does not love her, and she's not finna sit around being second fiddle to a man. Now we know Esme is really doing this, but on another level, girl, I understand what you're saying. Like, why sit around and pine after a man who's pining after another woman? If this was all up on the up and up, but we know it's not. So Esme, go ahead. So Laura was like, go ahead and pick up Spencer, and I'll take care of this here. And he was like, yeah, work your magic, make Esme stay. So now Nicholas has went to Spencer. So after he's like, Ron, leave me alone. So then Spencer comes in and Nicholas comes in and talks to Spencer. He was like, what's that with Ryan? And he was like, he's just trying to get in my head. And Nicholas was like, do you need something? He was like, no, I'm cool. And then they start fussing about Ava because he's like, where's grandmother, Laura? And she at the house because she trying to convince Esme to stay. And he was like, where's Ava? And she was like, he told her that Ava had something happen with Avery and she's at the hospital just making sure she's okay. And Nicola was like, well, I'll have her attention and she'll be hard on me. And she's my restitution, and all this stuff. He's just being a brat about Ava because he don't like her or whatever. But Nicholas said, right now, let's not focus on that. Let's just focus on getting you home and a fresh start. And he was like, okay, cool. But Ryan Chamberlain is already in his head. So then they get home, and Laura has talked to Esme. Is talking to Esme, and she's letting Esme know, stay with Spencer. He loves you, and Esme's like, no, he don't. He likes Trina. And I'm not finna sit around here and watch him do that. She was like, I don't have any friends or anything up here. And Laura was like, really, Laura is selfishly wanting this girl to stay. You're not thinking about what's best for Esme. You're thinking about what's best for Spencer and Nicholas and all them, because she's thinking about the fight that they're going to have with Victor. And so that's why she wants Esme to stay. And it's really kind of sad. I know a lot of people don't like Esme, but it's really kind of sad the way that they use this girl. Like Ryan is using this girl because he knows she wants love. Spencer, he knows she wants love as well. And she has no one else. So he uses her too. While he's really pining after Trina, but he can't get with Trina, so he gonna just use Esme as a placeholder. And now Laura and them are using Esme to try to smooth things over with Spencer, so they can get him out of Victor's clutches. It's like, now listen, Esme is not a good person, but everybody around her just tries to use her. Like, put her around some good people, maybe. But anyways, so that's the whole thing. Nicholas and Spencer come in, and Esme is, debating on why she should stay. Well, she's not debating because she wanted to go, but they're trying to convince her on why she should stay. So then we see Carly and Joss go and talk to Alexa, and Cameron and Elizabeth are already there. So they go in, and Carly and Elizabeth have, like, Alexis keep asking the children, like the teens, do they have any questions? And they're like, no, they just want to hear her out and see what she can do for them. Carly and Elizabeth have questions. Alexa says, I know you probably do, but you're going to have to leave because this will probably work or go better if it's just the two of them. And then they're more comfortable opening up. So Carly and Elizabeth go and have drinks, and they reminisce about how they were to each other. And baby, they showed an old clip. They were nasty to each other. But listen, Carly is really pretty, like her hair and everything. Why they keep doing? Are there different stylists on this show? Like, I know I'm not one to talk, but I am, because Elizabeth has had the same hairstyle in the exact same way. Uh, Who is doing the hair here? Like, because Carly is sitting over there. I mean, I know Elizabeth is a nurse, but I've seen nurses be put together, like on the hair and all that. So I'm like, y'all can't use that excuse. Anyways, I mean, because Elizabeth's too pretty. And then when they go back and show her the way she used to be, it's like, oh yeah, y'all purposely did this. But her and Carly were really nasty to each other back in the day. So it's funny now. They have kids dating, and they just complimenting each other on raising really good kids. Jocelyn, Cameron, Elizabeth loves how independent and fierce and strong Jocelyn is. Carly loves how Cameron is such a good guy, and he's protective of women. He's respectful towards women and everything. Then they just say, we might have got it wrong and we might have been hurt, but the people that we raised are good people, and they didn't deserve this or whatever. So then we see Elizabeth and Carly, they're talking. So then we see Alexis meet up she's still in her meeting with Cameron and Jocelyn, and a reporter comes in, and Cameron is like, I don't know about this, but Jocelyn does convince him to go ahead and do the story with Alexis. So they do the story and everything, and then they meet up with Elizabeth and Carly later on, and they just tell him, yes, we've done the story. And they're happy that they went ahead and did it to tell their version their way. And so then a police officer comes, and she wants to take their statements, because it is revenge porn and it is illegal to film somebody and put it out there. And so, yeah. So we're going to wait on all that to blow up. But yep, that was General Hospital today, guys. It was a solid 7. Yes, it was a solid 7. All right, guys. I will talk to you on the next episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.